Good morning, Matthew. Thanks for getting involved in Business Owner Spotlight this week. Go ahead, introduce yourself. Let us all know what it is you do.
My name is Matthew Gillespie. I'm 36 from Belfast, living out on the Ards Peninsula, and I basically have been following my passions for about 16 years. So what does that mean? I run an events company doing the type of events that I would want to go to. And I also run an indoor skate park in Bangor called Thunder Park, which is the type of facility I didn't have as a kid. So it's all very much based around what I've grown up enjoying. I'm still continuing to do it now as a job.
Brilliant. So are you, you've sort of, you arranged the events you would like to go to, and you've got the skate park that you would have liked to go to as a kid. So is this sort of filling the gaps you see in the market for what you would like, essentially?
Yeah, totally. So when I was younger, I grew up enjoying and riding BMX bikes.
Okay.
And as soon as I got to an age where I was sort of buying and reading magazines, only at that point did I realize how kind of far behind Northern Ireland was with the rest of the world. You know, we were watching amazing competitions happening. None of that happened here. You know, people were riding amazing ramps and amazing skate parks. None of that happened here. So I kind of carried that sort of burning desire to bring those things to the country, and just so badly wishing they were here and somebody would do them all the way through my childhood. And it didn't, I mean, it did happen from time to time, but nothing was ever kind of sustainable and long term. So I thought, frig it, I'm going to do it myself.
Do it yourself. So what sort of events has it been?
So we have an action sports team called Thunder Action Sports, and that's really a combination of all of the best and most talented people in sort of BMX bike and skateboarding, rollerblading, stunt scooter, and all that kind of wacky, wheeled urban sports. Yeah. And we go and do performances like Northern Ireland's version of like Nitro Circus.
Cool, happy days. And where's the next performance, or where can we find you?
Performances are really quite seasonal, so I wouldn't even expect to be having anybody contact me about that type of show until probably February of next year.
Yeah.
But the types of places that we've done the shows are like fairs, festivals, music festivals, large scale council run events. In the past, we've done them just about everywhere in the country, which is pretty cool. You know, we've done them in museums, we've done them in the Odyssey, we did an opening ceremony stunt performance for the World Police and Fire Games, which was one of the most televised events ever from Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
So just keeping that momentum going.
Happy days. And so tell me about the skate park then. It's down Ards Peninsula. What's the setup there? You can just turn up and pay, or do you need to be a member? How does that work?
Well, it had a sort of a finite lifespan. So I knew when I was starting it, I potentially only had it for 5 years.
Okay.
And it's coming to the time where that contract is either to be renewed or to be closed.
Sure.
Thankfully, we have grown it into a place where it's doing so well that we're going to continue it, which is pretty exciting.
Fantastic.
So we are based in Bangor inside a big go-karting centre, which coincidentally had the skate park that I went to temporarily as a kid.
Yeah.
So like 17 years ago, the place that I was coming to BMX every day is now coincidentally the same building where I have my park. So it's funny, it's come full circle. I couldn't have possibly imagined it would happen like that, but that's just how it is, and I'm cool with it.
Happy days. So that's great. So everything's going well. And have you been in business for about 5 years, or how long have you been trading for?
So I have done various businesses since my last full-time job. So sure. I basically left full-time employment in April 2008, and I have been doing my own thing ever since. So it's either been skate parks or shows or a combination of both, or bringing coaching and mentoring into the mix, and everything in between really since pretty much 2006 till now. But the business that I am a director of right now has been going since 2015.
2015. So you talk about 2006, 2008. So you sort of hit it there with the last big recession that we had, and then obviously we've just come through the pandemic. So conscious, what sort of things did you have to change about your business during the pandemic to pivot and keep things going?
Jeepers, the pandemic was an absolute nightmare, if I'm honest with you. the fact that we are indoor leisure, we were absolutely bottom of the food chain when it comes to people going out and using those types of facilities. They were also very kind of underfunded and undersupported. So it's been a complete nightmare actually to keep that business alive during the pandemic. And the biggest frustration for me was not only that we had phenomenal momentum. You know, I've either been doing skate parks continuously since 2008 until now, and they've rolled on one after the other. So the momentum has always been there, and it's been a fast growing industry. That all completely just stopped, you know, for 2 years. There was nobody using indoor skate parks. Nobody was thinking about skate parks. Nobody was going to them. Nobody was watching videos of them. It just it almost wiped us off the face of the earth. But the frustrating thing for me was that I lost amazing team members. So as you can imagine, it takes a long time to build up a skill and knowledge base to be a professional skateboard instructor or to be a professional stunt scooter instructor. You can't just pull Joe Blogs off the street and say, right, we're going to teach 1,000 people this year. It doesn't work like that. I lost a load of amazing team guys who I had been working with for a long time, and I lost them to full-time jobs for businesses that could continue over the pandemic. So that would be my biggest frustration. And I guess that element of the business is just it's just going to have to slowly build back, you know, as and when it can.
So is there anything that you put in place because of the situation and the pandemic that you're still using now that's ended up being an improvement in the business?
Yeah, so we did two things. I took out a bounce back loan and started two new parts of the business. So I started a shop where people can come and literally see, touch, and buy and experience everything that Action Sports has to offer right on their doorstep, really, or in this country. So that didn't exist anywhere until 2020. And as well as that, I started a ramp angle to the business, Thunder Ramps. So people would come from far and wide to ride the unique range of stuff that we have in our indoor skate park. And because nobody could come to us, I thought, you know what, if anybody's willing to buy a ramp, I'll make one and bring it to you so you can have it at your house. I mean, that's really kind of taken off. And that's probably the busiest part of our business now in the run up to Christmas is ramp orders. And I have a serious amount of woodwork to do, you know.
Yeah, but that's amazing, isn't it? That, there's something that you never would have thought of, or two things you never would have thought of, really. And now the ramp side of the business is would you say is that certainly a main part of the business now?
It wasn't until mid-November.
Okay.
We have had ramps advertised for sale, and we've been sort of drip selling them either locally or online for the last 2 years. The big influx was during the pandemic when everybody was stuck at home. We sold more half pipes in a year than I've ever built in my life, which is incredible. And they're all still going and everybody's still enjoying them, which is epic. But the last 6 weeks specifically, when it comes to, okay, what do you want for Christmas? I want a half pipe. You know, you can either buy it online and build it yourself, or you come to someone like us and we literally design it and install it in your garden or wherever you want it. And you literally just come out and boom, there's a ramp, you know, fun for 5 years.
So just so if you want one of those ramps, just so we can get a plug in, where is it? You jump on your website, or where do we order those?
Yeah, if you want any kind of ramp for a BMX, scooter, skateboard, roller skates, go to thunderactionsports.com, click on the shop icon and go down to ramps and you'll see all the varieties we have. And if you want something custom, just get in touch.
Cool. So I'm keen then to find out about you. So 2006, 2008, you've been in business for yourself. What has been the biggest learning you've had as a business owner?
I would have to say it's time. You don't have any idea how much time you're willing to give away until you create a beast and then have to tame it, you know? And the funny thing I did as a youngster, I was just mad ambitious, you know? I didn't want to be told what to do. I didn't really have a chip on my shoulder, but I was just kind of like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. You know, because there was a time whenever I was doing my GCSEs and things, and it really frustrated my parents how much I liked BMX and how much I liked it more than studying and stuff. So they were quite hard on me for that. And it made me kind of want to do those challenges and seek that glory even more.
Yeah.
And I kind of really just never stopped that. So ever since I sort of left school, got my first job past me, I have just been cracking on with projects, one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. And like 15 years has passed in the blink of an eye.
So it's this passion you have for it that drives you on. But I get the impression you're working like 80 hours a week, so you don't have to work 40 hours a week for somebody else. Is that what we're saying?
Dude, I remember keeping a log of my hours. I'm not doing it anymore because I've really changed my habits. But whenever I was working in my last partnership, which was 2008 to 2015, there was a period between 2010 and 2015. I was doing 90 hours a week, every week, no breaks, no holidays, Christmas day off. But other than that, it was just this massive beast of a business needs to keep turning, and I know for sure I would never do that again. So at least I have the experience under my belt, but if you're getting into a business, I would definitely be saying, really, really think about it. Think about why you want to do it. Think about what you want to do. Think about how much of your life you want to give to that, because it's so easy if you're a business owner and you've been doing it for a while. When you care about your product and service and you know that you want to give the best you can, you will just keep trickling those hours out. And before you know it, you're getting up before your family and you're coming home, you haven't seen them. And, there's only so long you can do that. So yeah, it's not a huge, it's just a massive learning for me.
And what sort of things did you do to reduce the hours you work then?
Yeah, I had a massive complex where I just couldn't and wouldn't delegate. Okay. I thought that everything that was being done was something that I wanted to do. So this is the funny thing, right? Every angle of the business, we do events. I love events. We built the skate park. I love the skate park. We have the shop. I always wanted a shop. We build ramps for people now. I really genuinely wholeheartedly love everything I do. And that's why it's so easy to get lost in the motion of it. You're going from this is great to this is great to this is great to wow, it's December. It was like January, like 10 minutes ago. And in the course of doing things like that, you can frustrate people. You can frustrate your family and friends they can't relate to the success you're having because they don't feel what you feel. It's very, very easy to be disconnected from everybody, it seems like, who clocks off at 5 and then it's family and fun until they go to sleep. Or finish on a Friday half day and they've got 2.5 days of the weekend and they're going here, they're going there, and you're kind of thinking, Jesus, I want to do that.
But you have to go and run your shop and run your skate park and build your half pipes.
Yeah, so I have got really, really good at delegating since the lockdown. I think it gave a lot of people, particularly busy business owners like myself, that kind of opportunity where you had no choice but to stop and evaluate. Yes, I know for sure that I kept every project going with a following project, with a following project, with a following project. There was no time to stop and look and and think, that was epic. I can't believe I just did that. It was just like next. And whenever I couldn't do that, and even new ideas that I was trying over lockdown couldn't take off because people weren't leaving the house, people weren't spending money like they would normally, they weren't thinking and acting like they would normally. And it just kind of meant that myself and a load of others who will definitely resonate with this if they were in the same position, we just all had to stop and go, right, okay, what's important here? And I kind of stopped and looked around and went, holy crap, like, where did this come from? If a lot of people find it hard to believe that the skate park in Bangor was built by 3 people, and unfortunately I lost 2 of those 3. So the founders of this business, this big monster, aren't here anymore. There's only me and new team members. So if I was even thinking right now about doing it again, would I do exactly as I've done? Hell no, it would be impossible. That 2 years of kind of slowing down and finding things that benefit you, I wouldn't let go of again.
So I think what we're saying here is, so first of all, your first big learning was that you can just give away all of your time to your business if you're not careful.
100%.
And the second big thing is the importance of reflection, taking some time out to look back at how far you've come, not always looking at where you need to go. Is that fair?
100%. And that has to come into the planning stage. So what I didn't do, and I'll admit to everybody, I don't have a business plan for what I do. I don't have a 2-year, 3-year, 5-year plan. What I do have is a burning desire to see an end result, and I would do whatever is necessary. Now, if I was to draw a line under anything I've done, I've just turned 36. So I kind of jokingly said to my family and friends at my birthday there, I was kind of laughing, going, I've still got 36 more years of work in me, you know, but they're definitely not going to be like the previous lot, you know. So moving forward, I really have no desire to work more than 25 hours a week.
Yeah.
And I can do it now because I can delegate, and you can delegate and allow yourself to delegate whenever you plan.
Yeah.
So I'm learning myself how to evolve as a business owner and not become an owner operator. I would rather be a creative thinker and like bring in strategy and development. Yeah. I now have 2 guys who work with me in the center in Bangor who pretty much have taken the entire facility off my hands. Yeah. If you had have asked me 2 years ago, is that possible? I'd say it's impossible. But it's
because you've let them
shift.
Yeah, you let them do it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that, I mean, and again, like how long, you know, how much time did it take you to learn that? You know, how many hours did you have to work before you realized that?
Thousands.
A better way.
Thousands. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying. Whenever you're a business owner and you're working on a passion project, especially something that's not really the norm, I don't have too many things to compare myself to.
No.
And if I do want to compare myself to other local businesses, it's only businesses who offer something to do in your leisure time. So, you know, so I could look at indoor soft play or bowling or any of those big sort of family-friendly leisure complexes and think how they run and how I run. Whereas those are designed in the offset with kind of, especially the council-run ones, you know, there's budget, there's people, there's teams, there's planning, there's departments, there's all this stuff. You know, moving forward, I wouldn't rush into doing it again. Even though I'm proud of what I've done, I wouldn't repeat it.
I wonder, though, that, you know, what we're, I mean, I'm in the best way possible. I sense, like, some stubbornness from you. You know, it's like, and I wonder,
absolutely.
And that's totally required as an entrepreneur and a business owner, but it's trying to, you know, lessen the impact of that stubbornness so that you can then delegate and let other people get involved. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah. I think if I was going to do it again, I would definitely, I know I would like to do it with a business partner or with a consortium of people.
Sure.
Because in the past, I have worked in partnerships and I have seen how those partnerships have spread the load, you know, and they were quite an incredible environment, especially if everybody has the same end goal in mind and can work together. I guess the reason why I work on my own now is because I exited a partnership that didn't end well.
Okay.
And I kind of almost thought to myself, you know, if that worked poorly as a team, I'm going to absolutely smash it as an individual. And I did, but you can only do that for so long.
Yeah.
So I guess I proved a point to myself. But,
so again, I'm getting just an overarching theme is that, you know, you can do anything, but you can't do everything. And if you try and do everything, you can only do it for so long. Is that that's really where we're coming to, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, Matthew, I really appreciate you sharing your story. I genuinely enjoyed finding out about it, and some massive learnings in there that I know there's people going to watch this need to hear. Both people who work for themselves and maybe work for others. But like, and I really, really, really appreciate you getting involved. Thank you so much.
No worries. It was great to talk to you, Scott.